Folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. One of the easiest ways to invest in this collectible market, as well as any market out there, is understanding pattern recognition. It's how us humans make sense of the world. The more things change, the more things stay the same. So, all investing is trying to predict the future correctly more times than not. Getting things right more times than you get things wrong. And over time, you will become a very successful investor. And then it'll get all the talking heads all across the internet saying, well, he got lucky or he pumped that card, right? When in reality, all you're doing is understanding how to read patterns and play into those patterns, put your money where your mouth is, and you're usually right more times than you're wrong. And so I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about because there's a massive pattern forming in Scarlet and Violet era right now. I'm going to show you how you can use that to your advantage to accurately play Shrouded Fable. Now, admittedly, I'm going to say, I think Shrouded Fable singles are high right now. I think once the ETBs and PC ETBs all get released, a lot more packs will get opened, a lot more singles will hit the market, and there will be better entries for these cards. However, once that initial drop does happen, I do think you can make this play for yourself. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Before we do that, I had to shout out Arizona TCG. They are a consignment service for your PSA, BGS, CGC slabs. You send them your slabs. They do all the work for you. They run them through their 100% positive feedback, 12K items sold, 2.3K follower eBay store as auctions. And because of that, you're going to get all the eyes of eBay on them going for top dollar. Their fees are very transparent. It's 13.5% with a $5 shipping fee under $100. If it goes over $100, they waive that shipping fee. So it basically becomes less than what it's going to cost you to sell it yourself and do all the work on eBay. So make sure to check out Arizona TCG if you're looking to move some slabs. I'll leave the link in the description in the comment section below. All right, first up, Scarlet and Violet base set. We're going to move through all of Scarlet and Violet, then I'm going to talk about Shrouded Fable and show you what I think. So, Ralts, top illustration rare and base set. Not a overly popular Pokemon, but it's continued to move up over time. This card was always a $9, $10 card, and now it's selling, up in the teens, right? It saw spikes up to, high teens. Now it's in the mid-teens, all right? Curlia in that same line with Gardevoir and Ralts. It's seeing the same type of movement. Now, you could say this is kind of in sympathy with the Gardevoir moving up, and that's possible, but the pattern continues with these illustration rares. Obviously, everyone knows the story of Magikarp. It's the big hype beast card of this era. It was a $50 card, and now it's selling for over $100 still. But did you also know about the Raichu? The Raichu is seeing the same type of movement. It was a low teens, mid-teens card, and now it's going for over $40, mid-40s. Tyranitar, same exact thing. It was in the 20s and teens, and now it's still in the 30s. Seen a pattern yet? We've got the Ninetales, right? Another Pokemon. This is from Obsidian Flames. After release, it kind of trended down for a little while, but now look, it's selling for higher than it ever has, near the teens. We have the Groudon. A lot of people know this story from Paradox Rift, one of the most expensive cards in the entire set now, had its initial rise after release, fell off and stayed stagnant, and now it's almost higher than it's ever been. It had a spike, which saw highs in the 60s, but it's still staying in the mid-40s. What about this one? See this one coming? Steelix, another card from Paradox Rift. Same type of story. Came out the gate really lackluster, stayed around $10. It ran up around 11, 12, had a massive spike, and now it's still selling in the mid-teens. Okay, moving on to Temporal Forces. The Ghastly story. Came out of the gate, had a massive pump, fell off, and then it ran up again. It's still holding really high prices, and it's higher than when it was when it released. All right. Then we move into Twilight Masquerade. You can see the same thing with the Eevee. It's done nothing but go up since release. Now, the only thing that doesn't really follow this is the IRs from 151. The only thing I can really think of is these were already just so expected, so pumped right when they released, and so thought of to be valuable, so it didn't have the same kind of moves. But they haven't really dropped, right? They've stayed pretty level to where they've always been since release. Here's the Squirtle. Squirtle actually is higher. It's seeing a run up. And then the Bulbasaur, same thing. It's about what it was. It was really low at release, and it had a massive jump up. But then it's been pretty regular. So you haven't really lost any money. So this kind of goes into what I was saying about that, knowing the patterns and getting more right than you do wrong. Think if you would have invested in all the top illustration rares in all of these sets. Well, the 151s would have stayed basically flat, but all of these would have made you massive amounts of gains. And so this is the pattern I'm talking about in this video. The top illustration rares from every set in Scarlet and Violet, other than 151 really, have seen massive run-ups, whether it be after release, a month after release, 3 months, 5 months after release. At some point, these have all produced steady gains. And so what you have to ask yourself is, do I believe Shrouded Fable or the set after that or the set after that is going to be the set to finally break the trend and everything is going to change and these illustration rares are no longer going to run up? Or am I going to say the trend is my friend and I'm going to say, you know what? This is most likely going to continue. If I'm going to place any bets on this market, I might as well place a bet on something that's happened 95% of the time. And that's what I'm talking about moving into Shrouded Fable. So the Persian, it's obviously the front runner in this Shrouded Fable set. It looks like it's going to be the card that could see the most growth in the future. Now, I think it's high right now. I know it's seen a dip, but I still think it's high. I do think this will be a buy, but I don't think it's a buy right now. What I'm looking in for these cards is after the ETBs are released later this month, I would say maybe beginning to middle of September. Once all those ETBs and all those PC ETBs come and all other products or whatever, they all come, the packs get open, the singles hit the market, I think we will see a massive drop because of supply on these cards. Wherever that drops, I don't know where it's going to drop to, but I think there will be a play in this Persian. I could see it rising and being more expensive in the future because it just follows the trend, right? You have the same thing with this Houndoom card. Awesome artwork. Houndoom's a pretty popular Pokemon. I could see this also being a play with the Persian as well. Now, there's a lot of other illustration rares in this set. You have the Dusknoir, the Duskull, right? The Monkey Dory. We've got the Horsey. The Horsey's another one I might be targeting. It is a Gen 1 Pokemon. It is a great artwork. This might outperform some of these other ones that are higher than it right now. This could actually see a better percentage gain. It's another one I'll be watching very closely. We've got the Dusclops, the Cresselia, Zorua. Zorua's done all right in other sets. Zorua could be worth looking at. The Pheasantipede, this is the illustration version. There's also, I believe there's a special illustration version. The Q-Fant, which is a lot of people like that card right now. The Okidogi, the Fracture. We've got the Beware and the Tapu Bulu. Beware is all right looking card. But for me, those are the three that I'm really going to be watching out for is the Persian, the Houndoom, and then I'm thinking maybe this Horsey might surprise some people and do well as well, but we'll see on those. So those are the three that I'm going to be looking at. But guys, these are the kind of patterns that form all throughout this hobby all the time. And when you get ahead of them and you move into cards that fit those patterns and you do well, these are the times people will tell you you got lucky or, you know, it's a pump and dump. It's all a scheme, a scam, all those things. But all it really is, it's just understanding human nature. It's understanding patterns and it's playing into those patterns and not being afraid to believe in the trend, not think that everything is going to fall apart. Everything's going to go to zero. And this is not going to be the same in the future because the odds are it's probably going to continue the same way. And so again, I think I would wait. I would wait on those and let the prices, you know, fall off a little bit after, you know, the major releases. And in September, I do think a lot of these will be plays. And I'm just going to come on. I'll go on a limb and say it. I believe October, November, December, we will see higher prices on those cards than we do at the beginning of September. That's all I'm going to say. That's just what the patterns have shown us. That's what I believe in. So if you do, make the play with me. If not, you guys can laugh at me later. But that's all I really wanted to talk about today, guys. Hope it helps, and I'll be back here in a new video soon. Subscribe to the channel if you're not yet. I'm out.